Probably my best story is the very first kitten that we fostered. His name is Wally, and he was feral. When I envisioned fostering kittens, that is not what I envisioned. This is what I envisioned, and that they would love me and they would want to have just me to mess with, and he wanted nothing to do with any of us, and he was very scared. We eventually got him to come around, but it was months. It took months, and I decided to take him to an adoption event at PetSmart. And I was getting set up, and I had him in a kennel, and a lady came in, and she said, "Is that Wally?" And I said, "It is." She goes, "Well, I came to look at Wally." And I go, my Wally? And she's like, "Yeah, he speaks to me." And I'm like, "Okay." And I was very honest with her. I'm like, he doesn't let most people hold him. It takes time for him to warm up. And so I got him out, and I said, did you want to try to hold him? And she said yes. And he snuggled right, oh, like I'm going to cry now, right into her. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I think he loves you." And she's like, "I think I found my cat." And I'm like, "You did. I think you did." And that sold me, because that was his person. He found his person. So that's my favorite part. I started with Always and Furever almost 2 years ago. My oldest son, who's 16, he is in the animal health program at Olathe North, and they have to have E-hours, and it has to be in the realm that they're in, and so he's very interested in animals. So we attended orientation. The rest is history, and we've been just love it. And now I'm the cat coordinator. We've fostered dogs. We foster cats, and then I also handle all the cats at PetSmart. I have a team of volunteers that help me coordinate the meet and greets and the cleaning of all the kennels and feeding them and making sure that they're loved and they get petted on every day. So that's what the cat coordinator does. When the cats come from a freedom drive, meaning they come in from another shelter or a pound, their first stop is going to be at a foster, generally my house at the moment. And then I help socialize them. I make sure that they get vetted. I can determine if they need additional care or if they're ready to go to PetSmart. Once they go to PetSmart, then they can be adopted from there. From here, we take pictures, we do videos, we post it to social media to just drive the interest. The kittens, like the one sitting on my lap, is 6 weeks old. When they come this young, they're not allowed to be adopted until they're 8 weeks old. So they will stay at a foster until they're old enough to be adopted. Kittens go really fast, so what we generally are finding is that they don't end up at PetSmart because they get adopted from their foster home really quickly. So when a cat comes to our house or to any foster, the biggest part of fostering is to make sure that they are going to be ready for their next home. So that they see the love that they really deserve, and that when their next step is going to be there, they're ready for that. With cats, it's a little bit different than dogs in regards to some of them are really scared or maybe even semi-feral sometimes, and so you have to really work on socializing them. And what I mean by that is my family and I work on making sure that we come down, we sit on the floor, we play toys. So more than just feeding them and making sure their kitty litter boxes are cleaning and making sure there's water, that they have places to hide, that they have places to snuggle in. And me and my boys will come down here and we'll do reading time. So we're sitting somewhere on the floor or up on the bed, and we have a book and usually a cat in our lap or laying next to us, or maybe even just nearby. And so they're learning that people are okay. What is my favorite thing about fostering cats? I think seeing the kids come and to meet the kittens, and how excited they are, or even the adults, that it just gives somebody a sense of peace and fun. One of the little girls that came, she knew she wanted this other kitten, like from the pictures that I've posted, and she sat on the ground, and that was not the cat that went up and got in her lap. There was a cat, he was about 4 months old, and he wanted nothing but her. And that was the first person that he had really attached to, adults, my kids, me. And he just like this little kitten was sitting in her lap the whole time she sat on the floor. And her dad just was like, well, what do you think? And she's like, what? I think he picked me.
My name's Shelby, and I am our fundraising coordinator, but I also foster cats for Always and Forever. I've had several cats with me in foster, and I've actually ended up keeping 2 of them. So Pam and Chunk are now officially coxswains and are mine. But I actually take the cats that are FIV positive, that can't be around other cats. They can be around other FIV positive cats, but those are the ones that I foster specifically. So a cat that's FIV positive, they usually contract that through, usually it's a fight with another cat where they exchange blood. So it's a autoimmune disease, which means they can get sicker a lot easier. Well, for me, I first started Always and Forever because of the dogs. I'm a sucker for senior dogs. I've actually never owned cats before until recently. And so I started out here like a lot of people. I saw Always and Forever on Facebook, and I came out to an orientation and have been with us ever since, but I was actually our first cat foster. We have a lot of cats. We have our relationship with PetSmart, so we have some cats there, but we could really use cat fosters like myself as well. Such a fun experience to be able to, take care of the cats and bring them into your home. I've had a few that I've fostered and they've gotten adopted to some great families. So I think one thing that's really important to know is you hear a lot about dogs needing time. They'll say they need this many days, these many weeks sometimes to really become a part of your family. And I think it's important to note that that's the same thing with cats. Some will come into your house and automatically be a part of the family and do great. Some are going to need their time. I've had some that have hid under my bed for a long amount of time, and you just need to give them their time and just let them, kind of come out at their own pace. It's so rewarding to be able to see them come out of their shell and play with toys and to snuggle up with you. So that's the part I love. So one thing I would definitely say is when people are considering adopting a cat, don't forget about the old ones. Don't forget about, take a chance on the shy ones. The ones maybe I've had several of my fosters that had to have a leg amputated. They're just wonderful cats. And so definitely, I know the kittens are cute, but they grow up to be cats. So definitely just, give those shy ones, the ones that may be hiding in the back of the kennel, things like that, give them a chance, because I guarantee it'll be worth it.